We are the Swifties, there is no doubt. We're over 50, don't count us out. We are in our best era yet. It's amazing and hits different. We are the Swifties, there is no doubt. We're over 50, so don't count us out. Welcome to the Swiftie Over 50 podcast, celebrating every era of midlife magic, real stories, and our fabulous community, all while screaming the lyrics to the entire bridge of The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. I am your host, Neil Aaron, and this is Swiftie Over 50. Today's guest is someone who embodies reinvention, resilience, and living life out loud, the incredible Eden Sassoon. Eden is a television personality, podcaster, and beauty entrepreneur. I knew
Say
I was
that
not
10
going to
times.
be. I couldn't.
No,
I'm
you
like,
got it. Keep going.
I knew the second it was written, I said, I'm not going to say that
would have
right.
thrown me too.
She's best known for her roles in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, her podcast, which also centers on like sobriety, personal growth, and also her appearances as a guest on the Jeff Lewis Live. That's a podcast.
Jeff it's a daily XM Sirius Radio 9 and 10 o'clock spots.
Okay, because I have a lot of friends that listen to it, but I have yet to.
Wild. No, you get caught. Careful.
Yeah. Well, they're all addicted.
It's great.
Yeah. Also, you're the daughter of the iconic hairstylist Vidal Sassoon, and you've built a public voice rooted in honesty, lived experience, and emotional clarity. Please welcome Eden.
I love you.
I love you. And that was kind of instant for us. We met on a retreat in Ojai, and I had no idea anything about you. And the two of us just instantly connected and were all over each other, kissing and hugging and holding and sitting together. And my other friends that were there that I had, already knew were just like jealous, and they're just like, oh my God, you and Eden just love each other. I'm like, I know.
It was magical, but it still is. Every time I see you since then, we go back to that same space.
Yeah.
I think that's just our spirits connect in that place, which, I mean, hello.
Yeah, it really is that spiritual connection. And it came in, like, we were on a hike and I remember seeing your tattoo of the scissors. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, there it is. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, what's that tattoo for? And you said, oh, my dad. And I was just like, I wonder why the scissors for a dad. and then it made sense. And then like eventually I found out that you were the daughter of Vidal Sassoon. But yeah, there was just we just connected on such a soul level. And still do.
See, and it puts a smile to think. Every time I think of you, when I see you, when we talk, it takes me again, like right back, which is the beauty of it. Like we will always be in that space, right? And work from it and just grow. Like, and if anything you ask, yeah, sure. What do you need?
Right. Because I've been on your podcast. Now you're on mine.
Yay. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Love it.
Yeah, this is so fun.
How did you know I was over 50, you fucker?
I know, right? Well, what's funny is I always, before I ask someone, is I check. But it's also like I plan to have guests that aren't over 50 that are just like, even if it's like one of the backup dancers or like, like people that are inspired by Taylor Swift is like,
I mean, how could you not be, really?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Really? If you could be someone for a day, I would choose to be her 100%. Not only because her future husband's a babe, but
okay.
But like, come on.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, what I'm always blown away by is how well she handles it.
Yeah, she does have a very centered, that we know of, right?
Right.
And centered, calm, peace. But even the way she expresses herself, everything about her is she was created. She's part of the divine, as we all are. But hers is clearly, being lived. It's pretty.
Yeah.
remarkable.
Talk about having a life purpose.
Yes. Right.
That's clear.
Poof.
Yeah. Definitely. Like in the Taylor Swift realm, when was the first time you heard of her or heard a song or like how did, because you have kids too.
I do have kids, but I liked her before the kids. I think I still like her more than, my kids are 19 and 20. So they're a little bit, they have like something to say. You know what I mean?
Right.
They
Yeah.
they like different music. And I would have been, I mean, I hate to say it, but like I would be a Swiftie or, you know, a believer. They're like, "Mom, oh my God." Sorry. Because it's what she represents, and then
Right.
clearly how she uses her voice in certain things in the world, and I don't have to get into that, but um it makes a difference. And if you're going to, I always would say, like, celebrities, what's a celebrity? If you're not helping change the world, then you're taking up space.
Right.
Clearly she doesn't take up space. And the one song that I remember specifically, I don't remember when, I mean, God, I feel like she's just always been part of life, but I was always a hopeless, and still am, but am very aware of it, a hopeless romantic diehard, right? And her lyrics are just like, so that song, The One,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Yeah.
One or One,
Yeah.
or Red. Remember the Red, the
Yeah.
car? Ah, forget it. Like oh, I just got the chills. Like it just it does something to me physically. Um, so she's part of my hopeless romantic, and now she tells a story that's so much more, not so much more, because she's always has such depth. Um, I guess it's relative, right? So as I grow, it grows. So, the perspective changes, and it never changes. It just kind of always grows with you. And I guess if you're hello, alive and awake and somewhat evolved, how could you not, like her? And then again,
Yeah.
even if you're not and you just enjoy her look and her dancing and her creativity, great, but she's so much more than just what meets the eye.
Yeah. I think it's always fascinating to me how there's something for everyone. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's the
What? Yeah, tell
lyric
me.
writing. It's the lyric. I'm a
That song you
lyricist.
made me listen to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Like,
There's a lot in there.
yeah. I mean, as a lyricist, she is beyond genius.
Mm,
I've studied lyrics my whole life.
wow.
I've written lyrics my whole life. Has divine presence in her lyric writing, especially some, like, in the era of tortured poets, it was very lyric centric, and it was just so
Call me
in
naive. I just feel like they all are, and I don't know.
yeah, no,
I'm
I
not
know.
well enough rehearsed in that
Right. and
sense, but
and what I said, with my last guest too, is like, how what's interesting to me is that if I ask someone what's your favorite song, it's everyone has a different favorite song. And so, like, I'll be like, "Ew, I hate that one." And they'll be like, "Oh my god, are you kidding?" There's very few I hate. There's like one in particular I skip anytime it comes on.
really,
Yeah,
I don't.
it's called Betty,
I'll have to
and
listen.
I should for all intents and purposes, I should love that song. It's storytelling, it has some harmonica in it. It's very Neil,
What is it triggering you though that
but
you hate it?
there's something just I just don't enjoy it. Like, it just
Okay,
doesn't
I'm
hit
gonna
for
listen
me.
to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but my last guest, that's one of her favorite
favorite
songs.
song.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
it's like, it's interesting how that happens for people. Speaking of favorite songs, do you have a favorite song currently, or one that like really gets you
A
good?
Swifty song
Yeah.
or no? And I'm bad because I should have heard the whole album by now or many of them, but no. I mean, I always go back to Red. I
Right.
think it's probably on my favorites.
Yeah.
Um, no, I'm gonna have to report back to you.
Well, Red alone is, talk about lyrically an amazing song. I mean, she's using color to describe all these, like, it's like, this is like blue and this is like gray and this is like, and then
Right?
it's like, but you're like red, like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And it's like,
Uh,
it's just, it's so
which for
brilliant.
me, what it brings up would obviously maybe for others, it's kind of it's art, right? It's your own interpretation. But like, shit, stop! What are you doing? Don't do this again. He's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're like a fast fucking car. Don't
Yeah.
crash and burn type thing. Um, but then and just the feeling, like you get this vibe. Everything she says, like it does. It has a heart opening. I'm a very energetic person,
Yes.
and so how I can't listen to her stuff without like, ooh, like the song you just made me listen to. For at first there was this, not religion in any way, but this God, it was like, God, here, can't you see I'm here, this is me trying, and then it was like, oh shit, here I'm showing up to AA, sort of, turning it over. I don't know, I just got all these different things. I'm like, oh, I could sit here for a long time and break this song down, but it was not one of my favorites.
Right.
because I'm more of a, kitschy diehard romantic, but really like a beautiful way of this. I'm trying here. Like I'm ready to change. I'm
Yeah,
willing.
and so we're speaking about the song "This Is Me Trying," and recovery is obviously a big part of your story, my story. And I wanted you to listen to that because I feel like for someone who is assumedly not in recovery,
Mm.
she wrote this song that to me hits
Yeah.
like this real true vulnerability of what it's like to be in recovery.
Yeah.
And um you know
But isn't that interesting? Hold on, I don't mean to cut
yeah,
you
no,
off, but
cut
like
me off.
you're saying, because in meetings, because I'm part of 12-step meetings, and so we read the steps, and like I'm powerless over alcohol, but the truth is I'm powerless over, right?
Right.
So people on the outside, that you can translate that as anything you want. So clearly, but she says in there, whiskey, there was something that must have
Yeah.
happened, or a store something. Um, so she made it clear. But I would imagine, of course, someone like her and her depth, that she understands what it's like to be powerless, but she'll still put that foot forward, or that energy, or that intensity to create a vibrational change, and then kind of find the surrender and acceptance to what is. She seems to always win.
Yeah. Well, and there's like that there's also that line of I got wasted like all my potential.
Mm,
And it's just like so
mm.
like because as addicts like we often in as we recover start looking back and being like, wow, I really wasted a lot of opportunities or life or joy or x y relationships, whatever. Like I really wasted so much
And that's a
potential.
beautiful perspective. And I try to, from everything that I've transitioning through, or just finding that space of I didn't waste anything. I couldn't see it. I didn't know any better.
Right.
So I have to find that acceptance of like, okay, but I can see it now, or I can see from where I'm at now. And if I continue to grow, right, I'm always like grow or die, God, it's way bigger than me. And if I can find that space, and working with others, right, when we work with others, we can continue to change our perspective, right? I mean, I think that it comes from where we are. Like, I don't think I wasted any time. I think that was the perfect to bring me to where I am now. But I get it now. And maybe in 2 years I'll be like, oh, but I get it now. It's
Right.
all like relative to what is time, other
Right.
than aging, which I'm trying to reverse that too.
Right. Yeah. Amen.
I mean, no, I'm acceptance of it, but doing the best I can. What is time?
Yeah.
She must have a song about
I mean, what something you just said really stuck out for me. It's grow or die. And it's like maybe that's part of our thing is that like we have an energy vibration that's very similar. And that's how I am too. I'm like I'm here to grow. Otherwise just I should be dead. Like, like I'm here to learn and grow, and if I'm not pushing, if I'm not past what I think I can do, if I'm not stepping out of my comfort zone on a regular basis or whatever, it's like I'm not living, kind of thing.
It's hard too, because people like us, if we are constantly in that state of mind, then there's little space for just acceptance of just, like it's okay. You don't always have to push or try so hard, right? Like take out the whip and like let's go, let's go. But get to the gym, do this, get to your meeting. You're not on like, whoa. That's just becomes a pattern and a thought, like, oh, and here we go. Then I'll just run that tape. Where do I find that stillness again? Like consistently, right? With the idea of like, okay, I'm going to step into this human form, which I clearly am, but I'm going to play the game. And how do I want to play today? Do I want to go like, all right, Eden, it's on, you know, get your whips out and be like literally a horse on the track. Let's go. Or, you know what? I'm just going to sort of like take care and energetically just, it's okay.
Well, we talked about transformation before we
Yeah.
started, and to me, part of transformation is self-care, and
Yeah.
because transformation is so, in my experience, so ugly and uncomfortable that there has to be moments of like, I just need to just lay in bed today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I am like through this transformation, through this growth, through this expansion, you think about the caterpillar and how in
That
order to
helped a lot.
become the butterfly, I think I talked about this on your
You did.
podcast.
You
I
did.
did. Well,
That
now I'm
actually
going to
helped a
talk
lot.
about it
Do
on my
it. Do it, because
podcast.
it's incredible. Yes.
Is that in order for a caterpillar to become a butterfly, it turns itself upside down and it expands so much that it splits open and all the guts come out. And the head falls off first. Then the guts come out and harden, and that's the shell of the chrysalis. And then inside of that is the butterfly. And that is, to me, the magic of it. Is
So
that's inside
powerful.
of us the whole time.
And you said the head falls off first.
The head falls off
Right.
first.
So what's in the
Yep.
head? The mind.
The mind.
Where do all these ideas and
Yep.
stories that, whoa, it's like so powerful that when you can get that, but when you're in it, it's really like, I remember you saying it, and I think I had emotion then too. But having gone through since that time, I get it. I get it. And I get how painful it physically is.
Yeah.
But right there's that, you're right, that transition and that like, oh shit, like it's happening.
I'm breaking
Whoa.
open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like breaking out your heartbreak. And I mean, no one writes better heartbreak songs than Taylor Swift. I mean, and I admire that
Seriously.
because like I have had what you could look at as terrible luck with men, or you could look at
I love this.
Yeah, or you could look at as God keeps putting these shitheads in front of me so that I can write songs. Because every single one, I just got ghosted with a guy I was dating, and I just wrote a song, Ghosted.
And
like,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
Or he's saying, I'm going to keep putting them in front of you, which we know this, right? And you're going to keep learning, and you can keep writing your songs. Or when you're ready to get the lesson and go on to the next level, you have more songs and different songs to write from a different perspective. So either get the lesson and read Taylor Swift, read them, and then, see what's next. Because why do we want to continue doing the same fucking pattern? Excuse my language.
No,
it happens.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, it's breaking those patterns, and that's where we grow, right? Because
And
there's more in you to write than just the same heartbreak songs with
for
douchebag
sure
guys. That
and I mean, I wrote one about the guy that was the healthy relationship, and that the ending of that relationship too. To me, it's always more interesting to hear about the vulnerability and the heartbreak than it is about the joy and the excitement of a new relationship.
I understand.
To write it and to even listen, like most of Taylor's songs, I mean, this newest album aside, most of her songs are not about falling in love and being happy. They're like about someone.
Well, clearly, because look, up until now, she has gone through it all.
Yeah.
But you love her albums now, right? Or her lyrics?
I mean,
it's different.
I do. I don't relate to them as much
as where you're at,
because
right.
Because it's not. But there's something always relatable in everything she does, and then there's also this, like we talked about on with my former guest that in the documentaries, she did a documentary. One of the chapters out of the 6, number 5 was Marjorie, and it was about her grandmother. And I related to it so much because it's like my grandmother was the person that was like cheering me on and saw the best in me, and I was like her star, and I was gonna make it one day, and I was like
well,
my
both
grandmother
your necklaces or your grandmother's.
Yeah, my grandmother's necklaces. It's
right.
on me. And how Taylor's grandmother was so inspiring. Like they open up the first episode of it, the part of it where she's like on her grandmother's as like a baby on her grandmother's lap, and she's banging on the piano, and the grandmother's like looks at the camera to the mother presumably and says, "You're gonna have to buy this kid a piano," like kind of thing. Like the grandmother was a singer and believed in her granddaughter, and the song is about loss. And in the documentary, they show how this, one of the backup singers, she lost her mother right before the tour started, and how every time she hears that song, that's what,
right.
So there's that relatability regardless of.
But and hearing you say that, like, I love my grandmother's, but I probably would have attached a different idea based around that song, whether it be my dad or someone else who influenced me in a way that they're now gone, So I think, it just depends how people can release some of the label. Oh, she's talking about a grandmother, I can't relate to it. No, it's a human experience. You open that up to find, that how does it pulse in you? Where
Right.
does it pulse in you?
Because there's this one line in that song that, and it's so funny because, and I don't know if we talked about it on the episode or I was talking about it with my mom about this, but like, you know, here is someone singing about their grandmother on the stage with millions of people and everyone's so
I
in,
love that.
you know what I mean?
It's so cute.
But like she has this line, this
She could do
lyric.
anything,
Yeah,
really.
she has this
Yeah.
lyric that says something like, uh, you know, I watched your, you know, how you wrote your name and everything, but it's like, I should have kept every grocery store receipt because every part of you would be taken from me. And it's like that idea of like, you know, those simple things that people have, like a grocery store
Yeah.
receipt is so throwawayable, if that's a word. But but like when someone dies, keep it, like you're like, oh my God, this
I
was
know.
their grocery, you know. So it's like I could relate to
You
that,
can,
and
yeah.
you've been through so much loss in your life.
I have, but I'm of the school of thought or energetic shift to release. Like, don't give me more of their stuff because that's more attachment. I'm under the Buddhist, way of like, let it go because I can't energetically keep all this. And I have a ton of friends and people that I know that are holding on to this and that. And when this goes and when that goes, I'm like, woo, that is not a way to for me to live. That's too much, right? I want to be clean and clear and come from a space of that. Even my dad when he passed, there were certain things, but I even gave my brother a certain thing, and I kept. There's like 3 things maybe that I have. That's not a lot.
What did you keep?
I kept a journal that I gave him when after he had a quadruple bypass, and so it was Christmas, and I didn't know what to get the man who has everything. So I wrote in this journal, and this is actually a funny story, and it had angels on the front because back in the day I was still, but I probably wouldn't buy angels for my dad today. And I said, Dad, this is ultimately for me one day, for me to have this. You're writing, write to me, I didn't know if I was going to have kids, just write your thoughts, blah, blah, blah. And he did. But at the same time, I gave him that. He was working on his autobiography. So I didn't get everything I sort of asked for, but I took that. And when I took it, remember in school when we'd like cover our books?
Yes.
He covered the angels in his white stationery that had like Vidal Sassoon on one
awesome.
side. It's so typical of a man who's like, if you don't look good, we don't look good. He covered the angels because he didn't want to see it. I'm like, oh, that's genius. So I took that, and then I was dating whatever. We gave him a pair of Nikes, and I had this Nike addiction. And so I went into his closet. I took the Nikes just because it's such a like grounding and the shoes that you walk in, because he had this joke about Jehoshaphat sandals. They walk through the desert by themselves. So I was like, I'm going to take the Nikes. And then I took his watch, but I ended up giving it to my brother because. But I don't, I'm of let go, because that's where the freedom is. That's where the peace is. That's where we all resonate from that clear spot. The more stuff and things and energetic like shifts that are there, too much.
Yeah, I mean, I told my sister and I talked. My parents have been planning their death since I was a teenager. Like it's like
you're like shit. When are you going?
I know, but it's just like every little detail has been planned and it keeps getting planned. And my mom goes through things. I'm always like, oh, what are you up to today? Oh, I'm going through the closet. I'm like, again, what else can you go through? But
that's hysterical.
and she labels everything and she has stickers on everything. I mean, what's real in the jewelry, like what's real, what's not real, all the things like But I always am like, I'm gonna throw it all away,
right? like I don't know. We'll keep check the real stuff.
Well, the real jewelry I'll keep, but like yeah.
I the same. I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not attached to physical. Although, like you said, like I have my grandmother's necklace.
Yes,
I don't have all my grandmother's stuff. I keep her. I keep her
close
to my heart, and that's where she is. And
I had it. So my dad gave my mom a love bracelet when I was born, like the original Cartier love bracelet.
Oh,
and
wow.
she gave it to me when I was 15. I'm 52. I wore that thing. No one ever was gonna get it, take it, nothing. It was mine. It was part of my day. It was just like, Urgh. And as I got older and started just sort of finding this space of this shit's not mine, and I don't want to hold on to it because I clearly have other issues that need to be worked on. So the more I'm holding on to things, I can't get to that place. And so my daughter turned, well, she was a little older, maybe 18. I I'm like, I had this opening, like literally, because I was so attached to the gold and the idea and the story behind it. I'm like, it's time. It's time to like unchassel my or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
and just. And this is what I said. How scary. Here, it's your problem now. Ooh. And I left and I'm like, I just did it to her.
Yeah.
It's part of, right?
Well, in 20 years, she'll be on my other podcast. That'll be about, like,
She's great. Yeah.
parental resentment, because I'm sure I could have a whole
You're
podcast.
so great.
So Taylor once said that getting older can be a relief. Can you relate to that on any level?
Yeah. Yes, on many levels. There's so much freedom in the acceptance of shit, I've done this. I've been here. Like I don't have to this is just sort of I don't have to prove myself as much, right? I don't have to feel like I owe anybody anything. Especially men. That's a whole thing in itself, right? In this sobriety, I had to pull out of it all. And as I'm getting older and realizing things that, again, it goes back to like, what does time really mean? So what does age really mean? So if I didn't learn the lesson in 50 years and here I am up against certain things, like now is my time to learn this lesson. So I guess it's just, I don't know how to say that with the right words. But I love aging in an emotional way and in a connective way with others, like-minded, hearted spirits. Do I like aging? Like, do I still have that idea of what I think? So what it does to me is make me work harder. All right, so get to the gym. Change your eating habits. Oh, your cholesterol is a little different because you're aging in certain levels, this, that, and the other. Okay, so you're going to, it makes me look at a situation. You can't take it for granted. We're not here forever. So what can I do to sort of, find a different solution for this, what we call aging?
Yeah, and I think it's also like I keep a real clear line for myself between physical aging and spiritual aging.
That's interesting. Because let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Because you said spiritual aging. Physical, right? That's the body. We know it's going. We can try it for as long as we can. But spiritual, like we were consciousness, we're here, right? Then we get into this physical thing. But that consciousness came in as consciousness and it's going to leave as the same consciousness, right? And everything that we do in between, let's say 52 years, it's here. But the consciousness is the consciousness, period, right? So it doesn't.
Yeah, and it's like,
does that make sense?
Yes. And, in our culture, and especially like we live in LA. So aging physically is,
right.
I've stopped looking at it as like an embarrassment to do anything or want to change. I said, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, if I do this, if I inject this, this is going to look different. And I want that to look different. What's the big deal?
For sure.
Just like kind of like if I want to eat right and look good, like I'll do it, like there's nothing wrong with the physical aging of doing anything that makes you feel good in that process. And the line about her saying it's a relief, it is the relief that's come for me is like, I don't care about impressing anyone. I don't care. Like I could be as genuine. I've always been a very genuine, authentic person, but I've doubled down in my, like when I hit 40, I definitely like, it felt like I had my midlife crisis and I said,
I remember.
I did. And then I kind of came out of it with like, wow,
right.
like who gives a fuck about what people think of me? But then when I hit 50, it was just like a whole nother level of like, oh yeah, nothing I do or say or anything that I feel has to be anyone else's business. This is just me on my path and I'm doing my thing. And if people don't like it, they don't have to engage with me.
And your world can get smaller with that thought, which is great.
Which is great. Right. I've shed a lot of people in my life because I'm like, oh, you're actually toxic. you like, it's time to let go of you.
Yeah.
There's this line in one of Taylor's new songs about and it's whenever like I have to say a quote on the spot.
You forget it.
I always mess it up.
Take your time.
But it's something about how she says in several songs she's reflected this idea of coming to the table in a relationship, like coming to a table and like keep going back to the table. And then in this song she's like, I left the table, and when you're starving until you're not. And I'm not saying it exactly the way she says it, but she's kind of like, you kind of like say like, I don't need to keep going to this table to fix this. And then you realize, wait, I'm not starving for this.
Right.
I'm letting go. And I'm not like, it's kind of like the freedom of letting go of this thing that you're trying to keep.
And if we go deeper into what is this thing? What is it? What is it that we're all like searching for in another person, right? Because we all have this human condition that we want this connection with another soul. And even like sexually, spiritually, like we have to come together and share that consciousness space. And like, what is that? What is it?
Well, it's interesting too, because like when I think about like Taylor and relationship, like,
I like this.
It is the narrative of the society around, because she's a woman, has always been that she dates so many guys. It's always about the relationship she's in. And then whenever she's single, they're always trying to attach her to someone. And
right, the nature of this thing that we quite can't put a finger on.
Yeah, and one of my critiques of the Eras tour that bothered me with the press around it was that so much of it became about her falling in love with Travis. And if he came to her show, that was what the news was about.
Oh.
And it bothered me because I was like,
of course,
can't we just look at that this woman is pulling off something that no other woman has ever or could ever pull off? And like, can we just give her the credit?
Hands down.
It's not about who she's dating.
But that takes us into other stories of like, society, media, like what they're getting. I mean, it's like, don't buy into it then.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of it. And that's kind of the world, especially being in LA, or in big cities or everywhere. Let's be real. Like, really, they're going to make a story about anything.
Well, what's interesting too is I've kind of shifted, especially after I saw the documentaries, and I'm like, it was magical and beautiful that she was falling in love with him, and it is a very pure, special love they have. And I was, of course, very hesitant to I wasn't just like, oh yay, she's with this new guy,
football player,
like, he's hot, yay.
Oh, I was. I'm like, get him.
I mean, at first I was like, oh, at least he's there, because the guy before him, I was like,
who was the guy before?
Matt Healy.
Wait, wasn't he cute too? Well, they're all
in his own weird way.
I don't know.
He also treated her like shit. So we all in the Swiftie world, we do not. Matt Healy is an enemy.
All right, fine. No,
enemy of state. But with Travis, I was like, okay, she he's treating her nice. They're cute together. But I wasn't feeling it, and now I feel it. Even in the documentary, just seeing how she was talking to him on the phone, and how cute, and how over time, the more they've released the behind the scenes kind of thing of what goes on with them, the more I see how romantic he is and how sweet he is,
and what a beautiful role model they are for the youth or adults even.
And he's not threatened one little bit about her.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, really, truly amazing. Yeah. And he can treat her with love and respect, and not worry that like, oh, she's Taylor Swift, because
or
the
she's
truth
too
is,
big.
We're all the same. We all come from just that space of consciousness. She's just very much in alignment with her purpose.
Yeah. And I think part of what's so relatable about her is that she's still so down to earth. Is because when I was growing up, my big idol, and I'm going to ask you who yours was. Mine, well,
no.
Mine was Madonna.
Oh, yeah.
And everything lived and died on Madonna, and she was the one in the headlines every day, and she was the one doing concerts, and she paved the way for female pop stars. She invented the thing. She invented the costumes and the dancing and the,
She Madonna's, it was fabulous. She got, so here, this is going to be, you might have something to say about it, but
let's go.
Let's see. I feel she's lucky. She came in at the right time with the right thing. Taylor Swift is fucking badass in alignment with her purpose. Madonna doesn't. Sorry, Madonna, compare to Taylor Swift. She just doesn't.
So this is how I see them.
Okay.
I see them as different.
Okay.
And
the talent. Come on. You're trying to be nice.
Yeah. No. I mean, so that's where they're different. Where it's not about Madonna singing. It's not. It's about that her as an artist.
I know what you mean. I mean, it was the greatest time ever.
And also, what's similar about them is the eras of how like Taylor reinvents this album is the polar opposite of the album before it. And Madonna used to do that too, the reinvention, the constant reinvention, and
so I could be, just saying this from a place of I just liked her when she was Madonna and we loved it, and then she started getting into this stuff and I'm like, it's not for me. It just wasn't for me. But I mean, I couldn't compare those two. I did love Madonna. Prince was my ultimate, just like, loved him. And today I'm more like, if we had more Bob Marley in the world, we'd be happy. Like, I'm just I love a really just nice, this is going to sound silly, but like a folklore kind of male voice. He could take off his shirt and play guitar with bare feet in the sand and sing me a song, and I'm happy. Yeah. It sounds so stupid, but there's something just so simple about that.
Well, that's the perfect thing to bring up, because the word folklore, that album of hers is really where things shifted for me. Because for me she was country, then she went pop. But then folklore is when things really changed. And that's when she became like a singer-songwriter, where it was, more folky, more lyrically driven, less about like hooks and bops and like that kind of songwriting, and more about
really like got your
storytelling. And that's where, I mean, that song Betty is from that, because it's like folklore was like, she started writing that day 2 of the pandemic, and she needed something to do, like, it was just like a time where we all reached for our warm blankets, and that was her warm blanket.
Her pizza.
Yeah, her pizza was folklore. And she came up with this album, but like there's a story, it's about storytelling and whatever. If Sarah McLachlan sang that album, it would be a Sarah McLachlan album.
She is great.
Yeah, because it's like along those lines too.
Yeah.
I mean, interestingly enough is that, I'm going to have a guest who is a college friend of mine.
Yeah.
Because I thought we talked about authenticity and genuineness and everything, and how that's like the most important thing of this podcast, life in general. Celebrating yourself as a Swiftie, as anything you are, like, that kind of thing. And I wanted to have a guest who was your typical everyday person who's just a Swiftie over 50. And she's the biggest Swiftie I know. She is the biggest Swiftie I know. She literally, every time I texted her, she'd be like, "Oh, right now Taylor's singing such and such." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "No, I'm watching the live stream of her in Amsterdam or whatever." Like, every day she's watching the Eras tour every day.
It's so beautiful.
It is. But, I forgot the original point of this, but
we'll come back around.
Yeah. It was probably something about folklore, but
you said. And that's a good sign when you're so like in it that you're like,
wait, you just where did I even start? Doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah,
being just authentically the fact.
I know what it is.
Okay, what? Tell me.
Okay, so so it was that in college, when her and I were friends in college, we were too cool for school. And we were listening, like, while people were listening to what's on the radio, we were listening to, like, real songwriters, like Sarah McLachlan, Tori Amos, Sean Colvin, Indigo Girls. We were like, we know real songwriting.
But the attitude with it. Right.
We know what real, And then one day we were just like, we're Swifties. Like, how did that happen? How did it happen? And I'll break it down with her in that episode. But like, it's kind of like,
that one.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of like, like, how do you,
because I think, again, I'm an energy person. Yeah. When it all comes down to like that frequency, and clearly, when someone's that much in alignment with their purpose and they're just vibrating on a frequency that there's not a damn thing anyone can say, do. That's it. Swift is happening, right?
Yeah.
There's no room to like, what do you mean how did it happen? How did it not happen?
Well, and for me, it's about like when folklore happened. That was when that was one of the, like, through my story of being a Swiftie, that was one of the big shifts, because that was to me a Sarah McLachlan album. That was a true song. As a
For
songwriter,
you, right.
that was like a true. This woman is a true songwriter, not just good at writing songs, but she's a true songwriter.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened. It's like, it became like, her cred was not just,
For you, from
yeah,
your perspective.
yeah,
And
from my
totally makes
perspective,
sense.
it
I mean, it
wasn't
makes
just
sense.
about like
Yeah.
I can write #1 songs, but
you-
it was like I can write real songs,
It's
kind of
beautiful.
thing.
And I
Yeah.
love that this idea over 50, and I know it's not just over 50, but as a 50-year-old woman who has a daughter and a son, but like, I think the essence of like this whole Swiftie, I mean, it's everywhere, right? It
Right.
really is. How beautiful that she can actually hold that space for these kids. Like that to me is so important. I mean, that's our youth. Like, and she takes that on as a responsibility, or she just is true and truly, honestly, again, authentically herself, that it's part of her. That's everything.
Yeah, and as a mother, I can imagine that seeing someone hold that space in such a way and see the community, like you never hear of Swifties fighting against each other.
No.
Like, I mean, I'm sure somewhere online there's someone says, "No, she didn't say that. She said
Right,
this."
right, right.
But like overall, I'm assuming you didn't go to the Eras concert.
No, but I watched
Okay,
everything.
you watched them.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
And it's like being in that crowd was
whew,
everyone opening the door for you. Everyone, no, you go
I
first. No, you.
bet.
Everyone's the Swiftie
Just
community
love.
is just, it's love
Just love.
and a celebration of femininity, which is something that I couldn't clock until I watched the documentaries. And I think Taylor herself says that this was like a celebration of femininity. Is that like people dressed up and danced, and like no matter what gender you identify as or don't identify as,
Just that energy.
that energy of femininity is there. And
I love that because it's this last year of my life, or whatever, at 52, where I was, there was a stage where I was sort of shutting it all down, and at some point I woke up and I'm like, I'm a woman, I'm feminine. Whether I have to look into like my hormone, like whatever that is, like what's going on, but the connection between me and my femininity and the universe, or is not happening. And so I had to find a space of like, what does that look like? So for her to hold that for so many, different age ranges, men, women, whatever you identify, whatever it is, I mean,
Right.
it's a powerful energy, femininity. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah. I
the
mean,
Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Like it's wow. It's really it's remarkable and big. It's a big undertaking, and all she has to do is be herself. Get
Yeah.
dressed, dance, and open my mouth.
Yeah.
And put out that, it doesn't. She makes it look effortless.
Which is interesting, too, because in the documentary, one of the things that she shows is, when there was crisis happening, how she gave herself the permission to grieve and cry and feel things. But when she goes up on that stage, she shuts that shit down, because it's like, these people
That's some
need
Jedi
me.
shit.
They need
You're
me
right.
to put the smile on my face. And even, the song "I Could Do It With a Broken Heart," it's like, that came out when I had my big breakup. And it's like this badassery of like, I can do it with you guys think I'm doing great, and you seeing me in this glittering light and how great I am, but I'm doing this with a broken heart. Like I can do this with a broken heart.
Because that broken heart is a condition of the mind, right? So like you label these things, or you have these feelings. We all are feelings. I always tell myself like, fuck, and in the nicest way. And I do love myself and my process, but I'm so sick and tired of these feelings that come from a thought, and it created this story around it. It's not even the truth. So figure out why I'm feeling that way, understand it, and move on. So clearly when she snaps into like, all right, I need that, that's reality right there.
Yeah.
Not this, like, your broken heart.
Yeah.
Like, I get that we have to like mourn, and you didn't have a broken heart. You had ideas wrapped around a story that didn't work out your way for some reason, and you're calling it a broken heart. Your heart is perfectly intact. And when you're in alignment with the I am and the truth, which is the divine, There's not a damn thing wrong. Your broken heart. You know what I mean? But I know it's me. I have to put it out there. But no, you step into action. There's nothing wrong anywhere.
Yeah. Well, in the song, she says, fake it till you make it. And we know that
Right?
expression. I
Yeah.
mean, that's like, I mean, there was a
It's
point
true
where
though, right?
I was like, is she an alcoholic who's in 12 steps? Because she like says all these things that I'm like,
That's so
but
cute.
like fake it till you make it
That's
is
just
so
a wise woman.
Yeah. I mean, someone who lives in experience, has an experience and expresses it.
But like fake it till you make it, act as if. Like those things that you say, there lies a sense of storytelling and truth in that space of act as if or fake it till you make it. Like what does that mean really? Because if you're not even really faking it. You're portraying acting as the truth,
Right.
which will then become the truth, not like a story that I remember someone asked me one day, how are you? And my story in my head and my heart and all this stuff, and I think we talked about this, was like, oh, it's been like hard and I'm like, you know what? Whoa, I'm great. I'm great. And the minute I could pull out of what I wanted to just like the makeup, I'm like, the essence, the power of the transition was like, I am great. And the rest is just bullshit.
Well, and this is part of like being
I'm
older
so sorry
too.
that I'm going to throw this out the window somewhere. Yep.
Is that, part of being older.
Yeah.
And passing that threshold of like 50 and what that means to us and all that thing. And it's just a number really, but like, whatever it's like, is that, and I lost my thought again.
It's okay.
But it was something about, what had you just said?
I said the essence of being like where we're at, or just the truth. Like I wasn't going to jump in and tell you like, oh, poor me and this is happening. I'm like, no, I'm great. Because I'm always great unless I'm believing my feeling or my sadness or, the pain. Like, what does that even mean? It's not the truth. The truth is just that essence of love and joy. Like when she steps out on stage and she's like, I got to do this for everyone. That's her truth though.
Yeah.
And when she steps into it, she comes alive. Right?
Yeah. Oh, I know it.
Okay,
I remember.
Go.
Thank you. So it was when you said that so someone asked you how you were doing, and you went into, I after 50 realized this thing. It was like this big aha moment of there's how I'm doing and there's how I'm feeling. And when someone asks you how you're doing, you usually go into how am I feeling? So it's like, how are you doing? Oh, I had a rough day. No, that's not how you're doing.
Right.
You're doing great. You're alive. You're healthy.
Right.
You like
you're
have,
here, you're walking.
we have food in our bellies.
Right.
We're good.
Yep.
That's how we're doing. How we're feeling is today's a rough day. Today, this is that.
I feel like, to your point, like everything's run on these feelings. I mean, I know in recovery and in addiction, I was working in the field, and I would constantly be sitting down and I'd find myself saying, funnily enough, and not, again, I'm like, I'm not a cold-hearted bitch, and they all knew me. I'm like, but when are you going to just be like, fuck your feelings? Like, are they even real? Yeah. No. And once we get, through our certain steps, and even after the 4th step, and you're seeing like, whoa, none of that's even real. Like, what's happening here? Yeah. It's all an illusion.
I think the 40-year-old version of that for me was, it's a feeling, not a fact.
Yes, it's just information.
And then now I'm like, it's a feeling, not how I'm actually, like, it's not who I am or what I'm doing.
It's like yeah.
And
you're like,
yeah.
Oh,
it's like, oh, well, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling whatever. Who cares? I'm doing great.
Exactly. And like you said about, she comes in on stage and she snaps into, it's like, okay, so we have these feelings, and the more you identify with that feeling, it becomes this pattern and this habit, and these things start to from the feeling, when the truth is like, no, not even. And I guess you can say, bad or good, right? Clearly in a spiritual world, we sort of want to find that middle ground of just stillness and sort of ride that wave. But we love like, oh, I feel so good. Well, careful, because you're gonna, right? Like, I always know that if I'm having 3 or 4 really great days, I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? What's coming?
Yeah.
Because I come down and I'm like, okay. I mean, I think that's an energetic thing, but like, just kind of keep it right here, right? That's that sweet spot.
One of the things too that I'm just like, I said the word badassery,
Mm-hmm.
and I do always consider you to be a badass. And it's like, I would love for you to share some of like what that, what your life had, because like, life hands you life.
Yeah.
You're born, but you could have gone so many different directions, and you really have paid, like, you've been vocal and honest and clear about like everything from like plastic surgery to addiction to all the things, like even the Real Housewives, all that stuff, because that experience wasn't a great one for you.
No, it's just, but see, I don't want to label it either. Like technically no, but it was just an experience.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to like leave the feelings behind and realize that okay, that was just an experience, which doesn't change me, the I am part of me. None of those experiences that you're talking about, and thank you by the way, I'll take the badassery, because you're right. Like we can have these experiences and make certain choices, but my spirit has always been connected with that place of like the divine, right? Uh, there is a space where we are one with the divine there. And for a while there, I turned to this sort of idea of like, oh, there's a God outside of there, and I'm going to pray on my knees, and that's fine. But there's more than that for me. And when I found that, I'm like, this isn't making sense. And why am I having this information where it's like, I feel bad? Like, I don't think that that's why these master teachers, Jesus being one, came here, like, and there's got to be songs about this.
Yeah.
Sure, right. I'm like, I'm doing my homework.
Yeah.
It came here to teach us these lessons, like it's in you. So I've always had this inner being that when things would happen and painful things, right? Like, or you lose people, or I guess I could have been like my brother or sister and not be sitting here with you today.
Right.
Or I guess as being the daughter of, someone like my dad, I could be obnoxiously rude and not care about people. But by the grace of that thing that's bigger than me, I would always tap into it. And I'd find this humble, sort of solemn, like, I want to do what's right for someone else. And I never took any of that story, thank God, to my head. And I've never turned it into this like ego. If anything, I was like, oh, wait, there's a sense of responsibility here. And now in my life, there's some things happening where it's more about responsibility. It's more that if I was given or born into this family with a name that's even in the industry of, hair and this and that and so much more to it, but then what does that look like? And is there a space in that for you that needs your voice? And if that's part of, my purpose, great. It's kind of like, okay, ask the questions. Like, okay, I was born in this family. Clearly just like go through and like, okay, then where do I fit in it? What do I want to do? How can I use it to the advantage of helping others to a bigger scale? Like, I always just kind of like took it to like, and I'm not ashamed if it's about, breast implants or weight, or even now, there are many things I do that I talk about, that I this is what I do. The truth, right? Like I'll always tattoo my things on my arm. Like,
Yeah.
the truth with love.
Beautiful.
And if someone's got a problem with that, fuck them.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably another reason why we connect so much, is because I'm a badass too.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, regardless of what adversity has been handed to me or I've meant to go through or whatever, however you want to look at it, I've always persevered. And I've always been like, don't fuck with me.
Right.
I'm gonna get through this, and I'm gonna come out
do.
better for it.
And you do.
Always.
And then to take that a step further, then I'm like, hold on, there's something in it for someone else, so they don't necessarily have to, if they can get it, right? If they can be in alignment with that, so they don't have to go through the depths of what I did. Share. That's what what are we doing here? Yeah. Like, whoa, if we really played the human game, which we all are, but like, if it's crazy.
Yeah.
So there's like that moment of stillness that like, okay, how do we share? How do we connect? How do I pay things forward? Maybe they have an aha moment when, I don't know, who knows? I lead with an open heart and an open mind and like this willingness to not be so afraid, which is where I'm at in life. Like, okay, cool. Let's go. And then what? So we're all here for a brief moment, right? Yeah. Like, as a Swiftie, like you feel her songs, you're energetically in it with her. Like she's changing the vibration of who you are all the time, right? Like right on. So if I get to use my honesty to help others in any way that I can, great. When I'm gone, maybe I left just a little like, you think of Eden like, because none of this is going to exist.
Yeah. It's part of life purpose. I mean, part of our life purpose is to open our big fat mouths.
Right.
And
I think so.
And give back in that way. Like, I mean, it goes to even the recovery model of having a sponsee or whatever. But what that's taught me is that, when I went through severe pain, which about, like, 2 years ago, and I was in it, I had that clarity of, this is going to help someone else one day. That's it. Like, I'm going through this for a reason. This is part of my transformation. And I think that's why it came up on your podcast, because it wasn't too long after that I went through it. And it's like, this is the, like, most hideous transformation that's coming, but I know it's a transformation.
But is it hideous or is it fucking amazing?
Well, on the other side, it's fucking amazing. Yeah. During it feels hideous.
It feels it, yeah.
But at the same time, I always had that moment. I had the clarity to know that this is just the pendulum.
Right.
The pendulum swings back and forth, and, like, that's how it's supposed to be, and that's why it's life, and that's why it's juicy and fun.
So as you're saying this right now, because there's something that's, like, coming to me that I have to say because of even Taylor Swift and how she, we have this. The pendulum of life, like what carries us through life. We're born, and the minute we're born, we take a breath. And the minute we die, that's our last breath. And in between, we're breathing. And clearly she has breath control, right? And she uses it in every way. Like, how do you do that for hours on stage without using your, it's unbelievable. And so, like, as you're speaking, like, I can just sort of follow this, like, breath within you. And I don't think that people, to the extreme, use their breath. That's my point. Like, it has to be said more. Like, nobody's using the potential that we were saying that word in that song, potential, of what the breath truly represents and what it stands for. So I had to say that out loud for someone who's listening.
Thank you.
Because I found such freedom. I actually found God in my breath, and this place of what truly is. And it was just a vibration and just an essence and just a joy and just this pure magical space of love. And it was through my breath, and something I would never, if I didn't have that experience, I think that's what I continue to seek. And now I'm like, I had the experience. You don't have to seek for that anymore. Act from that space.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's just a moment.
And I mean, as a holistic healer, which is my day job,
I love you.
Breath work and stuff like that is a real thing. And there's a science connected to breathing, and that's that.
We have to have a session again soon. Now that I'm just transforming and or where I'm at right now.
Have we done a session?
No, it's been, I don't know that we've ever done. I feel like we did years ago, but no, nothing soon.
Yeah.
Lately,
not recently.
Not where you're,
but
no.
It's like, see, when I'm healing people, I'm in such a void and I'm in such a channel that I can't really hold on too much.
Right.
So people will come up to me and be like,
and you don't.
Oh my God, you the healing you did on me was so transformational. And I'm like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Amazing. Yeah. And, of course, because nothing exists in that place that you're talking about. Or at least that's what that's amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Yes. So I would love to do that.
Or they even come back a week later and they're like, okay, so last week what you said was blah. And then what were you doing? And I'm like, I don't know, to be honest.
I'm
in a channel. I'm just in a void. I am the channel of this energy. So, like, I'm not doing it's coming through me.
So good.
So it's just coming through me. And so whatever came through, I don't know. I don't remember it. There's no memory. There's no memory in there.
And that's the space of the consciousness. There's no memory. And yet we have this memory and we have these ideas and this mind that, like, attaches to both of those things. It's painful there. When you're in that space of just pure consciousness of no memory, it's like, excitement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excitement, which is every time I see you, I get excited.
I
love you too so much.
Thank
I really
you for
appreciate
inviting me to the Swiftie Over 50 clan.
You're welcome. I thought of you immediately. I double checked that I figured we were the same age, but I was like double checking before I asked you because that would
I'm
not be
kidding. No,
flattering
it's
to people
great.
to,
I'm
but
fucking with you. You could say
yeah.
that. I'd be like,
Yeah. I'm so proud of my age. I'm
yeah,
51, by the way, but like I earned every
yeah.
month
It's
of this that
amazing.
I've been on this planet. I have earned it and I have appreciated it and I have and
I'm with you.
and I'm
I'm
not guaranteed the next one.
no,
So we
no.
know that. We all know that. You've lost so many people, siblings,
It's life,
like
right?
everything.
Just
Yeah.
life. Just
Yeah. I
yeah.
know. It's precious. And um I appreciate you doing this and being part of
I'm
my
a,
journey on the
I love your
Swiftie.
journey.
Yeah.
I love you, and you know that. So
Yeah.
like I love your journey. When you were like Swiftie, I'm like, love her.
Yeah.
What? What? How do you
Right away. You were
honored?
a yes right
Good job.
away. You were a yes right away. So thank you. Thank
You
you for
were
being
yes
here.
right away.
You're a yes right away. And that's it for our interview, right?
Mwah!
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you so much for listening to Swiftie Over 50 podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, I'd really appreciate it if you'd follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leaving a rating or a review is one of the best ways for fans to discover the show. And also another way is to tell your friends who are Swifties, whether they're over 50 or not, where they can find this episode or share it with them. You can also find us on YouTube or follow us on social media at Swiftie Over 50 Podcast, and the 50 is the number 50. And there I will have clips, updates, and behind the scenes content. Until next time, keep finding joy, friendship, and celebrating every era. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Swiftie Over 50 is an unofficial fan podcast created by fans for fans. It's not affiliated with, endorsed by, or sponsored by Taylor Swift, Taylor Nation, TSA Rights Management, or any other affiliated companies. All trademarks and copyrights remain the property of their respective owners. Bye.